when you examine your own habits when you watch television. Who watches live TV anymore? Uh, um, uh, Technology has allowed the consumer to watch television a la carte. Whatever shows we feel like watching when we feel like watching it. When I started in cable, that wasn't the case. When I started in cable television, um, you were at the mercy of the schedule. You watched Sliders or The Twilight Zone or Quantum Leap. You watched these shows when we scheduled them, and the best you could do was to record them on VHS for later. But as technology advanced and people had more control, TiVo played a big part in it. People got acclimated to a different way of using television. And so people use television today very differently than they did when you and I were kids. All right, when you and I were kids, Charlie Brown's Christmas was on once a year. You had to sit through the commercials, and if you missed it, you were screwed till next year, you know. And in today's world, that's not the case at all. You could pop in a DVD and watch Charlie Brown's Christmas, or stream it online anytime you want. So technology has changed the way that people are using television. There was no such thing as binge watching just, I would say, 10, 12 years ago. There was no such thing as this, where you would sit down and watch an entire series, episode after episode after episode.
I did it with the VHS.
Mm-hmm.
I remember sitting there watching something on VHS and watch. Oh, years I got like Bilko on VHS, and I would sit there and watch, episode after episode. I'm a stoner though, not for most Americans won't sit there. This is 20 years ago. I've told Lee 1,000 times. There's no better thing.
Yeah, I got in trouble for doing that.
Sitting there and watching fucking 20 episodes of television. I mean, people been doing it forever. If you had the collections.
Yeah, there are those of us that like to absorb, entertainment that way. But when you work for a channel in cable, and it's and you're a programmer in cable, it's your job to understand how the audience is watching you and how the audience is watching your channel, and then you adjust accordingly to the audience. And it's a big. I'm one of those that believe that. The tail doesn't wag the dog. People want to know why there are so many housewife shows on TV, why there's so much reality shows on TV, and the reason is simply because you watched it. If you stop watching it, it goes away. If you and I go to a rock concert and we don't like the band, well, we don't go back. And it's no different in television. When people stop watching a show, it goes away. But what's happening right now in the 21st century is, so technology has changed the way that people are using television, and then price point has come into play. The cable systems can only charge what the market can bear, and cable bills are extremely expensive now. And we have a generation of millennials growing up who can't afford 150, $200 a month. For cable, and instead they're choosing alternatives. And so that's what we're seeing right now. This is all part of what's called the digital disruption. So we're seeing the younger generation cancel cable. It's called unplugging, and they're subscribing to services like Netflix, services like mine, like Screenbox. People are choosing entertainment a la carte, as opposed to the way that they're getting their entertainment now. How many channels you get at home, Coco? How many channels you get at home, Lee?
9,000.
I don't get any. I don't get any anymore. I got rid of cable like more than a year ago for that reason. And it's really interesting you're talking about this. I read this article. It's from July of last year, but they were talking about the problems ESPN's gonna have, because that's really the only reason I had cable for a while.
Yeah.
They were talking about how it was like the 20th most desired station. I remember reading this, so I just looked it up. It's the 20th most desired station, but because of what ESPN charges the cable companies, you're paying like $7 a month for ESPN. So there's a lot. There's 20% of there's a huge chunk of people paying for it who don't want it. So that's why they're cutting hosts and their ad revenue went down because they're paying billions of dollars to air like Monday Night Football and stuff. Like they have huge expenditures.
Dude, you're dead on. And actually, ESPN is probably the best example right now to talk about how television has changed, because we all watch sports of one form or another. I love football. I know there's a lot of basketball fans out there. We all watch sports, and you have to watch sports live. So ESPN is the #1 rated cable network when it comes to live viewership. And live viewership is where all the money is at when it comes to advertising. Now, ESPN, there's a couple of things about ESPN that makes them interesting. Number one is they don't own a lot of content. And I'll try to explain. A channel like USA Network or a channel like TBS, they have original comedies, they have original dramas, they have reality shows, channels like Bravo, and they own that content. Well, ESPN licenses the right to broadcast sports, so they don't own that content. That's money going out the door for them to pay for the rights to broadcast those games. So when you look at ESPN compared to a USA Network, ESPN doesn't own a lot of its own content. It is constantly shelling out for this content, and trust me, the stuff ain't cheap. Okay, so ESPN has that going on as a business model. The other thing they have going on is unplugging. They've lost 7 million households.
ESPN.
7 million subscribers since in the last 2 years.
ESPN.
Since 2013.
You're talking about ESPN.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
7 million.
7 million subscribers.
I can live
lost.
without
and
ESPN.
To Lee's point, cable channels have 2 ways to make money. There are 2 revenue streams. Okay. One is advertising, the commercials. They make their money through advertising. But the second revenue stream is what they charge the cable system per subscriber to carry them. And Lee was on the money 100%. ESPN gets $6.60 per subscriber from the Comcasts and the Time Warners of the world.
And because they're owned by Disney, too, so that Disney packages other shitty channels that no one wants and makes them, if they want the most popular one, ESPN.
Mm-hmm. And they're the same company. ESPN is owned by Disney. And you think Star Wars makes a lot of money for Disney? ESPN makes a shitload of money for Disney. So here's ESPN's problem. They're losing households. Okay. So the money that revenue stream is being disrupted. It's shrinking year after year since 2013. And because households are shrinking, the ad revenue shrinks because there are fewer eyeballs watching the channel. So it's a pendulum that's not going to swing back the other way. This is just a sign of the times. And the 2016 is going to be a difficult year because a lot of people more and more people are unplugging and using OTT services, and we'll talk about that in a second. And because they're unplugging, the advertisers are saying, "Hey, there are fewer people, there were fewer eyeballs this year than there was last year. Why should I pay the same, if not more?"
Let me ask you this: so let's say I'm broke, and I have a computer, and I have whatever. Is there a way for me to watch TV for free?
Absolutely.
No shit.
I do it all the time. There's a ton of services that you can just there's apps now. Like when I went to Israel when I was a freshman in college, there were sites that you could go and like they would buffer all the time and you could find like little episodes. Now they have this app that you can put on a little computer stick, like a little Amazon Fire that's $30, and you have literally access to everything. You have access to channels. I showed Paula. They have access to Mexican cable channels for free.
For free.
Yep.
And you have
but that was in Israel.
And you have
No. That's here. That's here.
Now,
right
what
now.
about here? I have no dough. How much does this app cost me?
Zero.
And you just go and download it on Apple?
Yeah, you could even if as long as you have a laptop. I have the laptop that has an HDMI cord plug-in, and I was running it off that for a while, but then now I have an Amazon
And
Fire.
what kind of TV? Can I watch Modern Family?
Yep.
Can I? Come on.
You can watch anything. You can watch
While it's playing or a week later?
They do have, some of them have live streams of it. Sometimes those go down, but literally within, like we watch Shark Tank. We really like Shark Tank. Within an hour of it being aired, it's up. Perfect HD.
The same episode that was on that night.
Same exact episode.
So why
and
are
also
people
too,
still
guys,
paying?
the broadcast networks are still available over the air.
Yeah.
All it takes is $60-$70 at Radio Shack for an antenna.
Not even. I bought two of them on Amazon for $30. That's how I watch football.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, there are absolutely alternatives. This generation growing up, the millennials, they're going to be like our grandparents were. This is going to be a saving generation because the marketplace has priced them out of just so many different areas.
But
and
it's not
why
only
we're
millennials.
seeing the rise of services like Netflix, like Screenbox. Those services are referred to as OTTs.
So what is? Not to interrupt you, Raymond. What do you spend total a month for entertainment? How much do you spend total a month for entertainment in your home? Lee, I want you to add your bill also. Let Raymond go first, and I'll ask you.
Well, I'm because of my profession and such. I've got a lot of things running. I have several accounts and things like that. But I would say I'm in the 140 to 180 range a month. 140, 180.
And you still have cable in your home. I'm
sorry?
You still have cable in your home.
Yes.
Okay.
But not in every room. Not in every room where there's a TV. My kids don't have cable whatsoever. Both my girls live here still, and no, there's no cable whatsoever. They both use gaming platforms, it's all Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, Screambox.
How
about you, Dr. Zhivago?
Dr. Zhivago. So right now, I'm going to include internet because that's pretty much what I
What's it cost you?
$86 because I do that, and then I have Netflix for $7.99, and then I have Amazon Prime for a year. It comes out to $8 a month.
So altogether, what do you spend a month?
$86. But
and what were you spending?
I was spending $236
a month.
Because
holy shit!
Fucking, if you want anything on DirecTV, it was like close to $150.
So what's DirecTV?
What do you mean?
That's sports. That's dirty movies.
No, I didn't fucking do any of that, dude. I just want fucking. So I want ESPN news, which is of course doesn't come with ESPN, and you get like I don't know, wanted NFL Network to get the NFL games. I don't know what. I don't remember. I haven't had it for over a year, but it's great. I don't miss it at all. And the crazy thing is, I'm just turning because I'm looking at you, Ray. But my mom, you said millennials. My mom is good at technology, but she doesn't really like. She doesn't like it if it's not necessary. She doesn't watch anything live anymore. I gave her my Netflix password, and she's happy. Like I see what she watches. She watches it all the time. People love it now.
I love it. Listen, the only thing I would watch is 202. I mean, the local news in California is basically fucking garbage. I sit there and watch them save sharks. 505, late breaking news. You interrupt 505. I want to see a war. I want to see a guy get hit by a fucking car. Not a whale get caught off Marina Del Rey, and they got nets all around them, and it's a no. So I've been watching 202. Yeah, I love World News Tonight. I love Diane Sawyer, and I like the new guy. He ain't that bad. But they tell me what I want to hear in the first 10 minutes. And then I turn the TV back to Mercy, and we switch it back to Go Diego Go. Okay, so she likes all those little channels at the end. How much do I watch HBO? I have no fucking idea how much I watch HBO.
But here's the thing, though. Now, HBO, a couple months ago, you can pay $20 a month and not have to do cable, because that's what you're paying the cable company to do your HBO service. So just now it's called HBO Go. It's an app on your Roku.
Right, I have it.
So yeah. They're saying fuck it.
think
They
it's
But
know.
I think my
now,
wife
actually,
called
it's
them and
called.
threatened them and said she's leaving cable. And they asked her how come, and she goes, "Give me a number." And then she took them to the cleaners. So we have a bunch of shit, no Showtime. We have nothing basically for I don't know what she's paying, but it ain't a lot because she told him she was quitting.
The only thing I've actually thought about getting is maybe getting a TiVo again because I do miss being able to DVR things occasionally.
I get home lately and I put on YouTube, and all the movies I need are on YouTube now. I caught 2 movies on YouTube last week. Didn't have to pay dick for them.
Really, and that's hard to find on YouTube. Movies are like the hardest ones to
Yeah,
find
no,
sometimes.
YouTube something. It's called YouTube something. It's my wife has
YouTube Red, that would be.
some movies, couple old movies that I wanted to watch. They were also HBO movies. They were HBO movies. I watched the one with Richard Gere, and I watched the one Gotti with Armand Desant played Gotti and shit like that. So what's going on with Screenbox, Raymond? People love to scream at night, cocksucker.
Yes, they do. Although it's kind of hard to. Well, never mind. I won't go there.
Look at me cracking
But
fun.
last year was a really really great year for Screenbox, and just to keep going on the point that you and Lee are making, what you guys are doing is you're using services that are called OTTs. Okay, so next time you want to impress your friends and make it look like you know what you're talking about. Tell them that you're into OTTs now. And what that means is over the top. And so if you're using a service like YouTube or Netflix or Screenbox like us, you don't need cable. You simply need a Wi-Fi signal. Okay, so OTT means over the top. And this is the new platform that's emerged. This is your Amazon Prime, your Hulu. Again, these are services that don't require a cable connection. They simply require a Wi-Fi signal. Now, Screenbox we've been around now for a good year and a half. And last year, 2015, last year was a terrific year for us because we really expanded our reach and we expanded our distribution. We are now available on Xbox One. We're available on Xbox 360. We're also available on PS3 and we're available on PS4. So if you just boot up your gaming system and you head on over to the App Store, you can download the Screenbox app, and the first 30 days are free, and you can sample the channel. And we are a horror-specific channel, just horror movies. And given, the way horror films, we're the bastard stepchild of the film industry, this sort of service works perfectly for horror films because we present horror movies the way that they're supposed to be seen. No friggin' commercials, all the when I worked in cable and we would air a horror movie, it would just break my heart in a million pieces because, first of all, we would have to cut it if it was too long. Then we would have to cut out all of the bad language. Then you'd have to cut out whatever nudity there was. And then finally you had to cut out a fair amount of the violence. And you're removing the elements that make it a horror film. Here in the OTT world, when you're paying a subscription fee, a direct fee, the shackles are off. And you could pick whatever film you want. The movies are uncut, unedited, and you can enjoy these horror films the way that they were meant to be enjoyed. So it was a terrific year for us. Our distribution skyrocketed from there, being on the gaming system. So now we're available on Roku. We're available on those gaming platforms. We're on Amazon Fire. We have a homepage, screenbox.com. You could just sign up through the homepage. So, you know this from being a traveling comic. More distribution means more opportunity. And if you look at what's happening in broadcasting cable, their distribution is shrinking, and in the OT world, our distribution is growing.
Well, it's like leasing a car. Why am I going to pay for the whole network where all I watch is one fucking show on your network? Why am I paying for Showtime when all I watch is sometimes at 12:15 I whack one off? Late night, they show you a little glimpse of the asshole. You bang one out. And, what else is on fucking Showtime? Nothing. Who the fuck knows? HBO, if I watch the show with The Rock and the other kid. I don't mind. And
Ballers.
yeah, and every once I just watched the Whitney Cummings special. I watch HBO. They had the Sinatra documentary, but you got to buy all 4 channels now because that's how you get the best selection. You get the Sinatra thing, you get 2 things at once. But it also fucks my world up when I got to see Tombstone. When you're playing Tombstone 18 fucking times a day. And I'm paying $1.50 for that a month. I don't want to fucking see Tombstone. If I want to see Tombstone, I got the DVD. I'll fucking put the DVD of Tombstone. I want to see something I haven't fucking seen 80,000 times. That's what pisses me the fuck off. Sorry about that, people.
Well, no, but that's exactly the point, and that's the difference between pay cable and an OTT service. Pay cable, you're at the mercy of the programmers. You're going to watch Titanic day in, day out, month after month after month, you're going to see that ship go down. But the wonderful thing about services like Screenbox is we have movies, we have series, we have documentaries. You can sit down and you can take in all 20 episodes of The Hunger. You can sit down and watch all 26 episodes of Elvira. It's all at your leisure. And you get to take it with you wherever you go on your phone now. When I travel and I go to the airport, dude, you're on the road all the time. When you travel, what's everybody in the airport doing?
Looking at their fucking phone.
They're all looking at their thing.
Me?
They're all looking at their
Me,
device.
I'm watching anybody who's walking funny. You know me, I'm watching the exit door. I don't watch the fucking phone. I save the phone for, not even on the plane do I relax anymore. It's amazing. I get no relaxation.
You should have been a Sicilian.
Raymond, I look at you.
And I understand. You want to sit with your back to the corner so you can see the whole thing.
Yeah. Raymond, I look at you.
Sympathize. I understand. Me, I'm a little different. I like, I'm sitting in the airport looking at my device.
When you get stabbed in the head with a fucking arrow, don't come fucking 911 at me, cocksucker. As I told you, you're from Jersey. You're always watching the door, you fuck. I don't give a fuck what show's on or who's jumping up and down. Put that fucking thing down. Yeah. Especially in public places like that. But the weird thing is, Raymond, we're talking here, and I'm looking at you, and I'm thinking that I really know you 40 years. Like, we're fucking old. I really, really, really know you 40 years. When people throw that expression around, oh, I know him 22 fucking years. You know him 3 years, you fuck. But the drugs made it seem like I really know Raymond 40 fucking years. How scary is that we would go to his basement and play in a band? And I was the lead singer, and we had to fire John Bender. It's just amazing to know that I still have this guy lurking in my life. And
it is funny. It is funny because
tremendous.
You and I have changed so little.
Yes, we have.
So how old were you when you knew him? When you first met him?
12, 11, fucking.
Yeah, grammar school. So 10, 11.
If you had thought when you were 12 that we'd be talking to him on a computer screen,
kidding me?
And that you'd be running it on you'd be running a TV station on the internet.
Not even close. Not even fucking close. I thought Raymond was going to be an actor. I don't know. I always thought Raymond was going to be in the theater. He always did a mean Columbo, so I always thought he was going to be in the theaters, or he was going to be the actor, or something on TV. And look, I was right. He ended up programming television. But I still remember walking up that
when
hill
we were
with you.
kids, we loved comic books. We had, and I still have my comic collection, and I know you had an awesome comic book collection.
I don't know what the fuck happened to it. I used to remember we used to go up to Brian, whatever his name was, the guy on 43rd Street, and we would ask him for a comic book. I robbed that dude a couple times. I'd take his little fucking.
Well, thank Christ the statute of limitations have run out.
What was his name? He lived with his mother, and he had the front porch. The front porch he turned into a store. I'm not kidding you, guys.
A
this
store
is
for what?
Comic books.
Jesus.
So he turned his front porch and half of his living room into a store. Okay.
He had a massive collection, and he just kind of turned it into a store.
It was amazing, and if you wanted, he had Superman something. So if you wanted Superman something, he would have to walk to the back and ask his mom, and he would come out with a wrapper around and say, watch, don't touch it. He would do all creepy things with it. He was a great guy. I was just a little klepto back then. He turned his back. I clipped him for a couple Silver Surfers and shit like that. Then I'd sell them back to him. That was the best. You could trade them and sell them oh, my God. He was such a sweetheart. He lived
we were always into things that were wildly imaginative, and music as well, and comedy, because my mother caught you and I listening to Richard Pryor records in my basement.
Yeah.
And my mother flipped out. What the hell are you listening to? Uh, and music and such. And we haven't really traveled. I mean, we haven't really, some kids dream of going to the moon, or some kids dream of curing cancer. I liked zombie movies. And you kept us in stitches. You were hysterically funny. So I think our trajectories aren't all that surprising, really.
Where can these people find you? How can they subscribe to Screenbox?
Well, like I said, we're on all of those various platforms. The Xbox, both Xbox One and Xbox 360, PS3 and PS4. Go to Screambox.com if you want to sign up. It's a great service. We've got not just the theatrical horror films that everybody is familiar with, but I like to go for a level of depravity not found in too many places. So the really interesting stuff is the independent work, the foreign films. So we really tried to present a very broad spectrum of horror movies and documentaries and series, and it's a lot of fun. It's $3.99 a month. The first 30 days are free. You can sign up on any of these platforms. And you can also find us on Facebook at Screenbox on Facebook, and we're on Twitter as well at Screenbox TV on Twitter. And I'll tell you what, if anybody out there that's been listening, if you go to Screenbox on Facebook, and leave a comment about this topic that we've been talking about. I would love to hear from some of the parishioners of the church here that, do you own cable? Are you considering unplugging? I'd love to hear your comments on the topic, and maybe we'll give away some T-shirts. Maybe the first 5 folks, or, 5 selected comments can get a killer Screenbox T-shirt over at Screenbox on Facebook. So head over there, because I want to, this is very fascinating. This shift that we're seeing. We haven't seen anything in communications like this since, the newspaper replaced the town crier. This is the natural progression of communications. So I'd love to hear from the public.
I love you, cocksucker. I'll see you next time I'm in Jersey.
Yes, and while you wait. And I love you too, but you know what? Why don't you wait till the spring and then come by?
You got it.
Because it's there's a lot of snow here now.
I think I'm going to go back for David Gilmour. I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted. It's in April in Madison Square Garden on a Monday night. I don't know exactly the date, but
you're going to see David Gilmour?
I'm thinking about it, so I'll keep you posted.
It's a great show.
Who the fuck you think you're dealing with? Joey Bananas? They're here and they're
fantastic.
There. Go see them in
How
New
about
York.
all the rock stars passing away lately?
Hey, that's the evolution. They're 60, they're 70s. You can't live forever. Drugs, right. What are you going to do? God has
all the guys from the British invasion are in their 70s. And the rockers they inspired, the next wave, the Led Zeppelins and such, they're not that far behind. So unfortunately, I think we're going to see a bit of an unstoppable trend. What are you going to do? What do they say? 10 out of 10 people die. Yeah,
you're making me real fucking optimistic right now about taking this flight tonight and shit with my luck and stuff. I love you, Ray Cannella. Thank you for coming on, man. Too. On short notice, you're my brother, man. I'm happy you're still around and you're still doing your thing.
Thank you for having me. I
Absolutely,
really appreciate it. Lee, it was great hearing from you, Lee.
Nice to talk to you, buddy.
Thanks again for having me. And guys, like I said, stop on over to Screenbox.com and give us a spin, give us a try. I think you're really going to enjoy it.
Thank you, brother. I love you.
All right. Peace, my brother.
See you next time.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Cocksucker. I love this guy. What's up, Lee Sciatico? Now, Lee, let me ask you a question.
What's up?
Because I know you know about a lot of creepy things. What's going on with the porno industry? Like, as the porno industry took a hit, where do you go to watch pornography?
Well, I am I guess a dirtbag. I
Like,
watch
do people
for free.
pay for porno?
Fuck yeah, but I think it's sort of like what Ray's doing, where it's like a fetish or a fetish or a genre, like very specific. People will pay for shit like that, like if they like stuff that's outside the norm, maybe they'll pay for that. And then that's where like the cam stuff comes in, like that stuff that Red Band does, like that. People like girls make livings doing that now.
No, what's the cam exactly? So the cam has replaced porno. It's like a podcast for porno with a camera.
Yeah,
They go on there, they play with their pussy.
I guess it's
and then how do you send
podcast.
them money? Through PayPal or something like that?
You can do PayPal, but like these sites have, you buy tokens and then you give them the tokens, and then the girls have to cash out through the site.
And then they dance or they finger bang themselves or
Yeah,
something. And
but
it's all live and in color.
Yeah, live and in color.
Fucking tremendous. And you can do it on your phone.
Yeah, I'm sure.
On your fucking phone. Where's this country coming to? Right there on the bus.
It's creepy.
So, like, they shoot a lot of porn here still in California. I mean,
they do, but they passed the law where I think you have to wear condoms now. So I think a lot of them have left because people don't like seeing condoms.
I don't want to see. Oh, that's disgusting. That really is disgusting.
You don't want to see a condom?
No. So last week on the fucking show, man, when Sarah was on, we came with a conversation about whatever, about people taking jokes. I don't know what the fuck was going on.
Right.
And this morning, that's the first thing I wake up to, man. She's got like 19 accusations.
There's a crazier new video I just got, if you want me to play it. It's like spot on.
No.
It's kind of crazy. I saved it on purpose.
All right, put it. Oh my God. Poor fucking people. Listen, man, I met her twice, once. I didn't make a judgment. I don't know what the fuck is going on. What is this? It's like a bad dream. It's like a fucking bad dream.
Does it hurt your feelings when people do it? Like, does it make you upset?
It gets me upset when I vouch for somebody I think that maybe, these people would at least, but this is just fucking craziness. This is nonstop. Every time I fucking turn your head, there's a new thing in there. Who sent you this one?
I found this today.
I'm being accused of stealing jokes, and I wanted to come and talk to you about it and clear my name, because I would never, ever do that, and I never have.
How's this?
Oh, that's perfect.
They can ring you up right over there.
Thanks so much.
Sure.
Okay, I'm Bengi. If you need any other sizes, you please let me know, all right?
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
Hi, how you doing?
Great.
All right, did somebody help you with this?
Yeah, she's right over. Oh, she's not there.
Hi, how are you? Did someone help you today?
Yeah,
Who was it?
You know, I don't see him.
Oh, that's okay. What did she look like?
she's dark hair. She was wearing a blazer.
Oh, yeah, all the girls are wearing blazers.
Do you know what he looks like?
Yeah, he is wearing like a vest, like a plaid shirt, I feel like.
I don't know what everyone who works here wore today.
He had short hair, so that'll probably do it. Just that. He's black eyes.
He has black eyes.
Yeah, he had black eyes.
If she had a favorite president, it would probably be Lincoln.
That's just confusing.
Yeah. Are there any other distinguishing features?
I would guess he probably voted for Obama. I know I did.
All right, turn this off.
And
What do you think?
I mean, and it goes on to show other examples of it, but
I saw this. This is the one with Marin on it.
I
Jumping up and
not sure
down.
about that.
Yeah, check it out. Marin's
Oh.
on here too.
sad.
I feel bad because, listen, man, when somebody comes to you and says, Diaz stole a joke from me, I want you to give me the benefit of the doubt. I want you to. Lee and I had a big discussion on the phone. In fact, I called Andrew. I talked to Andrew for a while, and we didn't get to the joke.
Probably be Lincoln.
That's just
And
confusing.
Lee and I had a discussion how I do two jokes that
I would guess he probably would.
are joke. Was it one joke or two jokes? It was one joke. That was
No, yeah, it was the
one
mink.
joke. A realm of my. No, I don't do that joke. I just said that. He said that you would stay in and fuck everything.
Right, yeah,
My
yeah.
mother has a mink that hasn't moved in years, and I had a couple nights I caught myself saying, you stay in and fuck everything, and then blood in the pillow. And even though it's not even the same realm, even a guy like me knew not to go there. I just won't go there. It's not worth it to me. Write another joke. But look at Patrice O'Neal. I saw like fucking.
Oh yeah,
3 or 4
that
things.
one is bad.
No, I know this is the Wolfman.
This one is
and the
really
Abe
bad.
Lincoln.
You want to play? It's short.
No, I saw it. I saw
Okay.
it too. It's just, listen, man, I sat here like a man and tried to stick up for her last week and try to say that maybe a writer, somebody's going to have to answer for this. Somebody. I wonder if, I did Mad TV, and they venture out into a lot of other type of shows.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe from somebody from Mad TV was one of the writers, and now he's a show on Inside Amy. But, or is that a name, Inside Amy? But
Yeah.
there's some stuff that's being accused of a stand-up act, correct also?
I mean,
So-
Tammy, right?
This is just not good, man. And I sat here, I don't even know what the fuck to say, because I sat here and was like, sometimes shit like this happens. Maybe if it happens 2 times, not fucking 82 times. So something's not right here. Does it look at times to you like this could be a setup?
For what?
I don't know. Like even that Mad TV sketch looked like it was just too easy to steal that. It was just too fucking easy.
Well, everything.
I don't believe
now.
this.
Now with the internet, everything's easy to steal. You can go back and I mean, who knows if she did it or who did it? It'll be very sad if. I just hope like if she didn't do it, she'll take responsibility. I hope a writer just doesn't have to take the fall for her. That would suck.
Well, the same writer would have to take the fall for the TV show and the 3 or 4 jokes that she said she's put in her movies and her, because this is not just a stand-up anymore. This is her stand-up, this is her sketch show, and this is also
Her movies.
stand-up, sketch, and a movie. I mean, what the fuck? What the fuck? I mean, and half of it looks like a setup. Like half of it to me is like, wait a second. Maybe somebody went out and told her to do this. It looks like a fucking setup. The other half of me is, did America get taken? I mean,
Well, here's what I saw. She had a really good first special. I really liked it. And the thing that really bums me out about specials is when comedians do the same things on successive specials. And on her second one, it was a lot of the same stuff. So maybe she was too busy, and she just started doing stuff like it really bummed me out. I was really excited for her second special, and she did a lot of the same material.
well, we discussed the second special. Look what happened in our situation. We taped the CD in fucking August. The CD in my world, I thought was, the hard work I had put in, It was also a shorter set, Joel, who's a great technician, taped it the way stand-up is supposed to be taped, which we
Yeah, it
didn't
sounds
know.
great.
And he also cleaned it up and made different things loud, and he distincted different punchlines, which he really knows how to sell an album. The album we just released in November is a good album, but it's smoke and mirrors. Like he made it seem, because he knows how to
He's a
sell.
professional mixer. He's
a
great at what he
professional
does.
mixer. So when we shot the special in September, I looked at that, and the first time I looked at it here, when I saw the purple sweater, I didn't like it already. Like there was just so many little things. And yes, Lee, we could have sold it for $5 and made money, and people
that's
could
what I was
have
gonna
bought
say.
it. You know what, man? I'd rather not put it out there. And it didn't have any stolen jokes. It had no stolen jokes at all.
No, of course not.
But it had certain jokes that I wouldn't want to say anymore. For the reason you said. They were old jokes. I said them 8 years ago. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I wanted the special and the CD to be completely different. This is why I did it that way. I didn't want, some people sell you a CD and a special, and it's the same performance. You know, I wanted to give you something different.
Right. Well, there's a difference between the same performance, because I've seen that like at the DVD CD combo. That's cool. But I'm talking about like if like it's either you or the Priest and what you taped in August were the same material. Like that's what bums me out. But I see what you're saying, that you want to provide a lot of material for the
You want me to
people.
tell you something? There's a joke I said, it's either you or the Priest, that I love, okay? That when I said the joke, it was too early for me to say. Let me tell you guys how fucking crazy my world is. I liked the joke, and for some reason, against every fucking belief I had, I said the joke. And the joke worked to the T. But when I listened to that album, that joke, I didn't develop it right. That joke still had 6 more months before I could really drop it on a motherfucker.
Right.
I just shot it out of the cannon too heavy. I've been working that joke on the road lately, but I will never put it on another CD. I'm just trying to work it to get me somewhere where I want to go.
And on the road is completely different. And you know what? On an album, if you do it, but you add something to it, yeah. She had, and I can't remember right. I haven't seen it for a while, but she had successive bits. And actually, the one who kills me even more than her, John Panette. I loved his first special, or whatever I Say Nay Nay was. And then for like two more specials, he was doing the same material. And it broke my heart.
So why does that bother a guy like you? The same material and fucking they do it in the music industry, right? That chick did it. Sarah McLachlan did it.
Yeah,
And she put the same songs on a couple of the albums or something like that. Why does it bother you so much in comedy? I mean, I would never do it. Listen, if it was up to me, I would never release Dick. I would just have somebody with a tape recorder tape it and say, Joey, I taped your set tonight. It was great. Do whatever the fuck you want with it. But the only avenue I have and the only way to gauge numbers for me to get other projects like a Netflix project or something like that is to show them the CD, the releases on the internet, which you guys, as my family, have supported me to the end of no time.
Well, the answer to your question is because when I was first getting into comedy, there wasn't Netflix specials. I went out and bought every special, and I was excited. Like, that's what it was. I was excited the way you were for vinyl. I was excited for specials. I would go out and get them. I'm not going to tell you I was there the day they were released, but when I found somebody or heard of somebody, I would get them. And if I liked somebody, I would look forward to their new. And if I was seeing their thing, I'd be like, their new special's out. Like, you were asking me before what my entertainment budget was. My music budget every year, 0. I don't buy a single song. I don't give a shit. Back then, I was buying 2-3 DVDs a week. I have 600 DVDs at home.
Right here in the apartment now?
Yep.
And I got another 100 to give you.
Yeah, I have.
That have zero value to it.
I've stopped buying. Well, yeah, I've stopped buying them.
Collector's edition can suck my dick. Revamped copies, added scenes. Those things are worth $1.50 all day long at any fucking yard sale. You're fucked.
And I know where I fucked up. I got so many of them, I was tired of moving them, so I bought like a DJ disc book and threw away the boxes.
Oh yeah, you're in no.
So now I'm gonna have to lug this thing around with me for the rest of my life.
Like a fucking jamoke.
But it's yeah, I haven't bought stuff in years. So that's what used to piss me. Like, I have tons of specials on DVDs in my collection, and like that's why it would piss me off. So maybe, I don't know, if you imagine you're busy enough as it is. If you had a TV show, could you see a place where you're stretched too thin?
Okay? Let me talk to you. Where you're at as a 28-year-old, where you're at as a 35-year-old, where you're at as a 44-year-old, and where you're at as a 52-year-old is 4 different places in your life. Okay? It's 4 different levels of excitement. You know, it's like a woman. When she's 24, she has a dream. She has a dream to meet this prince who is rich, and she's going to have 9 kids and a butler, and she's going to have a Range Rover, and she can go to yoga with her fucking Gentile friends. Then, you know what? She gets fucked a couple times. She gets engaged, and the guy cheats on her. By the time she's fucking 33, she's going to be a different woman. Then you know what's going to happen, Lee? She's going to move in with a guy. Something she never dreamt of doing when she was 25 years old. She always wanted to be married when she dreamt in with a man. What a person will do at 32 and 28 is two different things. So when I come to you, you know how hard this job is? Do you know how hard? What do you think? This doesn't happen in the construction business? You don't think that one day two jamos like you and I get together and you're good with painting and I'm good with electrical and whatever. And also my friend here, he knows his father owns a fucking concrete company. So after about 2 years of us doing little work together, we cracking jokes. One day us three fucking morons decide to put a bid in on a fucking building. Okay? And unbeknownst to us, we miss 30% of this fucking bid. And all of a sudden we get awarded this bid and we miss 30%. That means we're all working for broke. In the 60% level of this building, we're all going to be miserable. The work's going to be shoddy. It's going to be shit. You know what happened? We took on something we couldn't handle. We didn't cut a partner in. It's the law of diminishing returns. Okay? We were making money when we were doing our little thing. Years ago, I had a friend who had an answering machine. I swear to God. He had an answering machine in his living room. And he would get up at 3:30 in the morning, and he would press the answering machine and would go, "Yo, Bruno's, give me 3 pounds of shrimp and 10 pounds of calamari." Eep. "Yo, it's Iggy over here at the Trattoria. Give me And this guy got in his car, went to the farm, or that market in the village, whatever the fuck it was, the Seaport Fish Market, whatever the fuck the mafia place, and he'd buy all this shit at wholesale, and with a truck, he would drop it off. And by 12 o'clock, he was home. You know what he was making a month in 1997?
I don't think I want to know.
$25,000 a month, guys. He was home by 12 o'clock every fucking day. $25,000 a month. A record. But guess what he did? He went partners with somebody. He bought a bunch of fish. He put it in a freezer. And New York had the blackout for 9 days. He lost all his investment, $200,000. He was doing great, wasn't he? With the fucking $25,000 a month to 30 G's a month, delivering fish, picking it up and delivering, chucking a few clams, taking a bag of clams and putting them into 12 lots and 144 lots, whatever they call it.
I love you, Joey. I think I'd go do that right now. If someone called me and said you make $25,000 a month delivering fish, I think you'd do it right now.
But it was his own business. You understand me?
That's
so
amazing.
It's your own fucking business. It's your own. His specialty was calamari, and he had these restaurants that would buy 50 pounds of it a day. That was his biggest moneymaker. That squid already cut. He knew where to get. He had the connection. He's the one that told me about sushi places only buying from Japanese fucking things. The point I'm trying to make here is that you could make dough. What are we talking about here? Anyway, I don't even know what the fuck we're talking about. I'm so high here.
You can make dough. Oh, the guy delivering fish.
No, we're talking about the guy fucking delivering fish. But what was the point, Lee? That's I'm trying to fucking
Then
ask.
he went too high. He did too much.
Well, it was the law of diminishing returns. Same thing with Amy Schumer. Maybe, you know, man, you live in somebody's basement, you sleep with weird people, you hang out with weird people. You do that for a while, you get a little fucking desperate. And all of a sudden, life moves a little faster than what you fucking anticipated. And somebody comes to you and says, "Are you ready for a TV show?" And you say yes. And now you gotta start writing sketches. And you've never written a sketch before. You've written stand-up fucking comedy. I don't know what happens to you. All of a sudden, at the end, they tell you they're going to give you $25,000 an episode of a show you're going to shoot. And you're going to shoot 10 shows. Which means you're going to go out every weekend and make millions of dollars selling tickets because Comedy Central is going to highlight you. What would that make you do?
But I think it's the type of person who, like you said,
Every
we didn't put
time-
out the special. That wasn't good. She put it out.
What special wasn't good?
The one that we just shot, and then her
Oh,
second
no.
one.
But I'm talking about with her.
Right.
She just shot an HBO one that people were criticizing.
I haven't seen that one yet.
What's the matter? The screen went down?
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay. No. What I'm trying to tell you is here that maybe things move fast for a person, and it makes them do something that they wouldn't normally fucking do. I mean, it's just too many people raising their hand here. I'm not here accusing nobody. I'm not sticking up for nobody. I'm just trying to find out why somebody would take sketches, somebody would take stand-up material, and somebody would take material and put it in a fucking movie that had been discussed before. The magician with the magic things coming out of her pussy and all that shit and the flowers.
Yeah. Crazy.
So that's all I'm trying to fucking say. I've done some creepy fucking things, but I always had a little bit of respect for this thing. And I learned at the age of 45 or something that you have to say no.
Right.
The same way people say no when you're looking for things sometimes, you really have to look at a situation and go, you know what? I can't cover the spread on that. And you'll be so much fucking happier sometimes when you do that, Sometimes you're like, you know what? I have my hands full. Years ago, these people contacted me to do this movie and money and this and that. But they wanted to put it right in the middle of this fucking surgery I was having and all this other stuff. And I remember looking at that money going, man, that would be a great project. But I got to get in. I know how these movies shoot. I got to get in and out of this fucking car 1,000 times. And I'm going to go in there and end up doing surgery again. And you know what? I turned the fucking movie down. The movie recently got released and went straight to video. You know where it did good?
Where?
Nowhere. So what the fuck did I miss? They wanted me to sell my soul.
But how do you, when you're so, like when you were more desperate for the money, how do you look at it objectively and be like, okay, this isn't worth it, even though I could fucking use the money?
You got to have a good team. And let me tell you something. There's no really good team. Situation's been going on where people are doing live podcasts. Mm-hmm. You and I did them 3 fucking years ago. And we did well with them. All we have to do is announce them at the Ice House, and we sell 100 tickets like it's overnight.
Yeah.
Now, you and I know that it would be a great thing. But the problem that was doing was we weren't doing the show correctly. Not in my eyes. There was something missing. There was always an element missing from the show. Yeah, and we got high, and we giggled, and we had fun. And they were very spontaneous, and I did stand-up in the beginning, and it was something different. And I always thought about taking it on the road. But I always thought that if I really took it on the road and beat it up, it would expose a different element that I didn't want to have. I didn't want to put out there. But these agents now are pushing these podcasts for people to go on the road. They're not really thinking of the consequences. They're also making the podcast into places where it's very impersonal. I loved the Whitney Cummings special. I watched it again last night. The only knock I have about it, it's a little bit too big, the place where she taped.
The venue itself.
The laughter sounded far away and not very cohesive. I laughed. I'm not saying that the special wasn't funny. I'm saying that the special seemed like it was in a bigger place. Now, again, like I told you, when you're talking to somebody and you're going over numbers, and you're going, listen, I wanted it to be a smaller place. Yeah, but you're only going to make $9,000 at this place. Why don't we go for this place that's making $30,000? They're always pushing it a little bit. They're always pushing it a little bit, and you have to know. But sometimes you get 2 people cornering you and saying, I think it's a good deal. And there you go. There you go. With my special, when I watched it with you, it was like Ronda Rousey on her hands and knees. That first time, it was like Ronda Rousey on her hands and knees, not even caring about that she got kicked or how she got kicked. All she was wondering about were all the things she had done wrong. When you find yourself in this position, all of a sudden you go, holy shit, that's what I fucking did wrong. And in my situation, I didn't get a production guy, somebody to come to me and go, you can't wear a purple shirt. I didn't really look at the curtains. I took the curtains for granted. Okay? My material was fucking horrific. And if I would have planned ahead, I would have had somebody do 40 minutes. So all I had to do was 50 minutes, maybe 46 minutes. And I could speed up the material. It was very slow paced. But I didn't see that on Friday night. And on Friday, it was even more slow paced than it was on Saturday. I saw all these things right from the jump. What my appearance was on that fucking thing was horrific. If I would have paid $500 for the production designer, somebody would have said, hey man, you can't wear that purple fucking shirt. It looks sloppy on you. There were just little things that I realized when I saw it. And you know what? They were nobody's fault. Because this was like the documentary. We all went into this with our eyes fucking closed.
No, but I have to take responsibility.
No, you don't. No, you don't. And I'm telling you, you don't, because I knew better. You've been doing this for 5 years around me. You've been watching stand-up for 10, so I respect your opinion. But where I went wrong was I didn't overview the fucking whole thing right. And I didn't tell this guy to do. I thought I told John what to do. John didn't do it, but the people, it wasn't John, it was the people didn't do it. They put us in a pool of fucking strangers.
Yeah.
So there was so many fucking things that people still saying, I'm still getting emails on Gmail. Please release it. It's not about fucking releasing it. It's like you don't want to see your uncle fucking shot in the head, do you? Nobody wants to find their uncle shot in the fucking head. So why would you want to see something? Why would I let it out?
No, you'll do a better one this year.
No, I know.
I'm
gunning for September in a fucking nice location, something cozy where we could smoke fucking joints. I want it to be very 2016, very avant-garde. We fucking evolved. We need a stand-up special that we need to evolve. Even HBO, I love their specials. I grew up on HBO specials. It's your fucking dream. If you talk to a comedian and he tells you he doesn't want an HBO special, he's full of shit. That's it. That's the fucking Pierre de la Resistance. That's when you come on Kanye West's face. Getting an HBO special for a comedian is like a fucking regular guy shooting a load in Kim Kardashian and going, here, Kanye, here's the leftovers. Sniff it, cocksucker. That's what it's like. That's what the prestige of an HBO special is like. But not anymore, it doesn't feel like.
No, there's not as many.
Not anymore.
I mean,
they put the bumper, and I love Whitney. I love that special.
Right.
I loved everything about it. The only thing I didn't dig was I thought the place was a little bit too fucking big. She had every right to release it. I would have fucking released it. I'm not going to go to war with HBO. They give you 3 or 4 shots to do those,
Really?
Yeah, HBO gives you 2 or 3 or 4 shots to do that shit. So they give you a pick of one. They take 1, mix it with 3. They take 4, mix it with 5. They do shit like that. So you don't fucking lose. Let me do some shout-outs so we get the fuck out of here. Louis the Kid, Matt Baltazar in Cancun, Shane Spellman, Water Boxer, Biggie B, Andrew Sorvel, and Ice Key Brennan. Don't forget, Charlotte, I'll be over there with you cocksuckers this weekend. I'm leaving this afternoon. Helium, St. Louis next weekend, and Uncle Joey's 53rd birthday party in Vegas Friday night. Lee'll be there giving foot rubs to chubby chicks. That's his favorite thing. He always goes to Vegas. He looks for chicks with chubby feet and shit. And he does his thing. You know what I'm saying?
That's my thing, man. What can I say?
Fuck yeah. I'm feeling good. We got the new studio.
Have you been in Charlotte before?
I'm sorry that the fucking podcast is still... We just got into the studio. We're still feeling out the growing pains. The problem was we're putting music on in the beginning, but we had to cut it off for YouTube. I don't want to waste your fucking time. And then people had to say that they had to reload it. If you want me to fucking play the music, I mean, too. I love music in the beginning. But if I got to fucking cut it, what's the goddamn point?
Right.
I love music. You guys know I got a fucking music show brewing, cocksuckers. I got something. I love all these albums. I went down to Amoeba and walked around, and I looked at people. And I looked at posers, people who were down there buying Eagle albums. Oh my God, they must have sold 2 fucking million thousand. It's great to die in this country. Everything happens when you fucking die. That's when you punch the ticket. Michael Jackson dies, and all of a sudden he's out of debt. People are jumping up and down. 3 kids are on TV. It took Michael Jackson to fucking die, and I go down to Amoeba the other day. I park across the street. I love that place. It's a little on the commercial side for me because when I travel around to these different towns, I always go walk into a mom and pop one that I really like, and I just like the vibe in there. And you pay a little extra, but you don't give a fuck because there's no lines. You actually smell the albums. You go to Amoeba, you smell piss and This fucking, it's right out there. It's across from a Jack in the fucking Box.
Yeah, but I mean, I love places like that. It's so like you went to you bought some new stuff, but they have a whole section of used
I went
stuff,
on the
which is
fucking.
amazing.
I went. Listen, first off, that's a 4-hour project.
I know it's an all day project.
I went through one rack for 45 minutes with no glasses on. Do you know what that's like in my world? Do you have any idea what it's like in my world to go through a rack of something without glasses? Like as I was running across the street on Sunset with my bum knee, and I got to the opposite side, I realized, fuck, I didn't bring my fucking glasses. I go, I'll take my chances. I forgot 5 fucking albums. There was 5 albums that I forgot to get completely because I couldn't see them. But I was surprised on the shit they didn't have.
Like what?
They didn't have Animals. They didn't have a couple of albums that I was looking for. I specifically went. They didn't have the B-52's first album. They didn't have the One Allman Brothers album from the Fillmore East that I like. They didn't have a lot of things. I tell you what, they have a great selection of Spanish shit. Remember, they got 2 floors of fucking music in there. But when I like to do that show, and I like to fucking go to different cities. I like to show the best one. The best one for years for me was one in Dallas, in Addison, Texas. It was next to the Chuck and Jive. It's still there. There's a little fucking restaurant in Addison, Texas called the Chuck and Jive. And you go in there and get like a gumbo and shit like that. Well, 4 or 5 doors down from like 90-something to maybe a couple years ago, I heard it closed down. Syatt, oh my God. Oh my fucking God. I would go in there for hours and geek out.
And just look through everything?
Yeah, it's like a museum. You go there as a museum. You go there when you're my age. Maybe you had a brother who had albums and you inherited them. There was a lot of people who inherited their brother's albums, like the little chick, like the little guy in Almost Famous. She left her brother her albums. There was a whole generation of people who are still very fortunate to go through their mom's albums or maybe their brother's albums and just see what they were listening to and what their time period was. So when I go to an album store and I'm going through those albums, I'm thinking of shit. I'm thinking about the first time I touched that album. That thing on YouTube with Jimmy fucking Page. Have we played it?
I don't know. What is it about?
And how he talks about Stairway to Heaven. And he talks about, but that there's one point of it that he's rubbing the album cover. And it really fucking takes you to a different level because he's rubbing it. He's thinking about what he was doing at that time in his fucking life. Like the album cover.
What should I search?
No. The album cover that I immediately got the other day. There's an album cover that I got the other day. I bought this album. Between me and you guys, I've bought this album in one way or another 10 times already. But this album is such a fucking... Houses of the Holy by Led Zeppelin is the album that really kicked it up to the next level for me. It kicked it up so hard to the next level that I didn't like No Quarter. I grew up like in the 5th grade not liking No Quarter. I would skip over it and put The Ocean on. Okay? Tell me that No Quarter is not the 3rd song on the first side on here and The Ocean is after it. Tell me that without even looking at it. Is it inside? Is it outside? What the fuck, Lee? Anyway, take that wrapper off because it's just going to fucking break. We'll keep it. That's how I remember this album. But that album, I would keep it like I didn't want my mom to see this album. It's like the fucking people. It's like the kids from The Road Warrior, the first one.
Okay.
So side 1 is Dancing Days or something.
The song remains the same.
No, the other side.
How's the Holy Side 1?
All right, side 2.
Dancing Days.
Okay.
The Air Maker.
Okay, Dire Maker, and then
Dire Maker.
Then No Quarter. I would skip over to The Ocean.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking with you motherfuckers. This album grabbed me like nothing else has ever grabbed me. I was listening to Spanish music. I was listening to fucking, black music. I was listening to a little bit of rock music, but this album, I'll tell you how fucked up it got me. It made me smoke reefer.
That was your first time
This
smoking
is the
reefer?
fucking album that made me fucking say, whoa, 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 whoa. It's time. I got to take this up to the next fucking level. This was the fucking album. And when I see this album cover is my childhood. Like I told you, the inside of this, I used to look at this every fucking daily. Like just open it up and look at this and go, wow, someday that's going to be fucking me up there holding some dead cadaver to the fucking gods. You know, whatever the fuck it was. This album was just my life. I don't know why. When I saw this the other day, I don't want this album, but I bought it just for the fucking cover. Because I don't know how many fucking mornings I listened to this while I was doing homework, or I listened to this while I was stretching to go play basketball. Better yet, in those days, I was such a basketball fanatic that I would sit my ass against the wall and just sit like this, like those people, and just work on my thigh muscles, and I would listen to side fucking the other side with The Song Remains the Same and Over the Hills and Far Away and the one song. Oh, dog, I grew up on this motherfucker. You can't calm me when it comes to this shit.
So why don't you want it?
No, I want it. I wouldn't have bought it if I didn't want it, but it wasn't what I went down there to get. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm very sorry. When I went down there, I wasn't thinking of Houses of the Holy. But when I saw the cover, it was so fucking strong. I just grabbed it. It meant that much to that room. That little fucking room I had when my mom died, that was one of the first albums that you saw.
Those places are intimidating because there's a lot of people like you who it really means a lot, and like they go through and they're really fast, like they zoom through the stacks and see if there's anything they don't have.
You can't replace that album that you had in that basement.
No.
There's no fucking replacing it. You know, when I lived with the Runnies from April of '81 to October of '82, one of our favorite things to do, we go to Pathmark in the daytime. Now, Pathmark added a fucking record store to the thing, like a record department. It was across from the greeting cards. Big fucking mistake, okay? So we went down there one night and figured out that after 10 o'clock, A, there was no security, and B, there was a gate. But you could stick your hand in that gate and take the album off the top and walk out of the store. It was right next to the magazines. You're fucking dying. You're looking at me going, Joey, what the fuck? I'm talking about senior year in high school. I dropped out and I would load trucks. And there was nights I worked till 1 o'clock and I would get home. And Mike was just getting home from fucking doing blow and shit. And we'd look on what was coming on HBO. And let's pretend it was The Raging Bull, Hollywood Nights, and there was something else that came on at that time, The Thief with James Caan. That was all running on HBO. And in those days, they ran the same shit every fucking night, just in a different order, okay? And then at 5, they put like Tales from the Dark Side or whatever the fuck. And I still remember me and him getting in the car. First off, I still remember me and him walking. But after a while, we figured it out that one of us had to go down there in the daytime and go through the record department and take every album that they were looking at and put it back by the stack of magazines. So you would get an album, look at it, show it to your friend. He would get an album, and you'd just walk and you play switcheroo. But what you were doing was loading that bin. You were loading that bin with the albums that you wanted. So you put fucking 10 of them in there. And then you waited till they closed Pathmark on Tolly Avenue, and you walked back down there at fucking 11 o'clock at night. You bought some groceries, but before you left, you took those fucking albums out of the bin and you put them in the line with you and you put them on the floor. You paid for your groceries and they gave you a bag. You took the bag, you picked up the albums and you put them outside the bag and you'd walk outside the fucking Pathmark. You know how many albums I had from fucking Pathmark, with no exaggeration? Close to 75, 80 fucking albums.
Jesus.
And I had it in one of those construction boxes that somebody had given me that's made special for people who liked albums. It was like a long milk crate. That's what it was. And I had 3/4 of that motherfucker filled up. These are all albums I picked up with all that drug money, that stupid fucking money, stealing chains and all that shit. Over the years, I would always go to Burger Line and buy 2 or 3 albums. In fact, after a while, I took the album covers that I like, Hellbent for Leather and all that shit, and I hung them up in the walls and the ceiling. So when you came in the room downstairs, all you would see were album covers of our favorite album, David Bowie, whatever the fuck the album was, and Fleetwood Mac. We had put it all around the room. That's how much of an album guy I was.
Did you have like an emotional connection to those specific albums? Like, if someone came in and was like, "I would give you $100 to smash this album, but give you an exact copy of it," like, would you let them do that or no? Or,
I don't give a fuck what you do with the
okay,
album.
I didn't know.
It's the dream that there's certain albums. Led Zeppelin too. Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus Christ. I still remember hanging out with Ray Cannella doing THC Crystal, fucking playing Led Zeppelin too. I still remember Houses of the Holy. The B-52s, that album, I still remember it like if it was yesterday. People playing it constantly at parties when I was growing up. I'm eating fucking Quaaludes, dancing on one leg, shit like that. I mean, it was just a fucking horror show. How many albums I went through and how many of those. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. I loved that album. I used to look at the album and stare at it for fucking hours like a dummy. I'm sure they have tons of connections to my life, Lee.
That's crazy.
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Why'd you make me eat that chocolate, Lee? I'm all fucked up now.
I didn't make you do nothing. You made me do all this.
All right, give me the ads here. Give me this sheet here. Let's get the fuck out of here and get this party started. Dog, I got to tell you something. I was cooking already, but this fucking Eureka Vapor put me over the top. This one here, this little electronic one, this gives you a nice big hit. Straight to the goat, Lee. Oh, yeah. And they're more solid than they were. This is more, you could see that you're going to smoke the whole thing. A lot of the oil sit on the bottom. And this is a sativa here. This is how fucking deep the Eureka goes now. What's for dinner, Lee? I can tell you're already thinking about what you're going to eat tonight. You got some tortellini.
I had that last night.
Chicken cordon bleu. So what? You're not going to eat? You've been eating chicken fucking tortellini since I met you.
It's
and
delicious.
Tell them. Don't you put margarine on it?
Yeah, you do. I believe it's not butter spray.
What's that?
I believe it's. I can't believe it's not butter spray.
All right. Wait till you're not going to believe that wart on your asshole. What that is, cocksucker. Stop spraying that shit on the food. Get some nice butter, low salt, whipped. What am I going to do with you? Eating that tortellini. Look at the shape of you. How you going to go home? You got your little Suge Knight t-shirt on tonight? You visiting Mama tonight?
No.
Thank God. What do you got on the books tonight?
The rest of the night, nothing.
Nothing. Good. That's good that way. Anyway, on it still. Always making it work for me, man. Always. I'm starting to fly again. You know me, the Shroom Tech. You don't know who you're sitting next to. Now they got this new disease, Kiva. People are scratching them next to you on planes. Babies are getting fucked up. What's the new disease they got?
Ebola?
No, that's the old fucking disease. They got a new one, you fuck. Look at the shape of you. What I'm saying is that, why you gotta interrupt me?
I don't know.
Anyway, Shroom Tech, I don't know if it works in Ebola. I'm just cracking fucking jokes here.
No, I didn't say that.
Shroom Tech Sport, Shroom Tech Immune. If you're flying, the immune is great. Shroom Tech Sport, tremendous if you want that extra cardiovascular little fucking edge towards the end. The mushrooms are tremendous for you. I live off the hemp protein powder. I've lost weight with that powder. I think it's more 32 grams of protein is a lot better than eating 62 grams of protein.
That's what your body can absorb, right?
Per meal, that's what your body can absorb. So I'm always a hemp protein guy, but why listen to me? I'm a fat fuck. Go to onit.com right now and press in.
Church.
And get 10% off your first order delivered right to your door. If you want to deliver to your door on a monthly, go with Onnit.
Stay on it.
Stay on it, and they deliver that to your door, and you get an extra 10%. Now, there's something that I talked about the other night that, guys, I think this is a great idea. You know, it's the sound of a package being delivered or friends coming over for dinner, but it's also the sound of someone planning to rob you blind. Over 90% of home break-ins happen during the day. Burglars almost always start by ringing your doorbell to see if someone's home before pillaging your possessions. With the Ring Video Doorbell, you can see and talk to anyone at your door from anywhere in the world using the smartphone. Ring's advanced motion detection alerts you even if someone doesn't ring the doorbell. It's like the caller ID for your home. With Ring Video Doorbell, you can talk to delivery people and keep an eye on your package. Even if someone tries to mess with it, you'll get an instant alert and the HD video, the whole thing going down. It's like having a neighbor keep an eye on your home 24/7 without the judgment. You know what, man? I was a thief. I know I used to go to doors all the time and ring them. This, you can't get even to Plan B because they got you on tape. So you're done unless you go to the door all hooded up like ISIS. Here's the thing. Installing the Ring Video Doorbell takes minutes, and it works either your current wiring or built-in rechargeable battery. You put your mind at ease and protect your home with a video doorbell. Time Magazine and USA Today named one of the top 10 gadgets. My listeners get free expedited FedEx shipping when you go to ring.com/church. That's ring.com/church. With the Ring Video Doorbell, you're always home. Nobody can rob your house that they try. It even has motion detectors, Lee. It's got everything. You connect it to this, you connect it to that. But listen, do me a favor. Go to ring.com right now and look at the great things that it does. But if you like it, press in ring.com, church now, and you get free expedited FedEx shipping. All right, that's it. That's the show, guys. I don't know what to tell you. The patois wasn't, the Musing Bota wasn't here tonight. But we're just getting warmed up in the studio. You know what I'm saying, Lee?
We'll get there. I thought Ray Cannella's a good guy.
Ray Cannella's a tremendous guy. I wouldn't have had him on if I didn't think he was a fucking good guy. What's the matter with you?
Oh,
Anyway, this weekend, the Charlotte Comedy Zone. Next weekend, Helium St. Louis. And then Uncle Joey's birthday at the South Point Casino in Vegas, February 19th and 20th. I know my man Bobby Sharon and Chris are going to be there. And
really?
Sure. And fucking you're coming. And what's my girls coming? What's Esther Kuz opening up for me? And I'm going to have Gabe do 10 minutes. And I'm going to have, what's your other boys coming? My main man, Larry.
Oh, shit.
DJ fucking Larry's coming. Security.
He's the king of Vegas.
All right, I love you guys. Thank you. Thanks again for Ring. Thanks again to Honor.com. Thank you to Eureka Vapor Pen. If you see them out in Colorado, Seattle, wherever, support Eureka Pens. We're going to start talking more about them and the effects and the clean vapor because there's a lot of shitty shit going on out there. I love you guys. Have a great weekend. Stay black.